Welcome into the Jordy Culotta Show. Wave your hand out there, baby!
Shout out to the show.
She puts the pinky into the nostril. Man, look at that.
Healthy competition, there's nothing like it.
Y'all grow up. The line's wrapped around the stadium. Different strengths. Mm-hmm. I just lost a tooth.
It's going to be fun.
You know, we might have a story.
I love what you're doing.
Ogeron wants to take us fishing this afternoon.
Sharif, you play for the bad boys of the SEC, man. We don't apologize to anybody.
But a lot of people are saying you're going to be wearing number 7.
I don't really know. I want to. See, look crazy, Bill.
Good feet on the old man.
Definitely come back.
We'll be right back with the Jordy Culotta Show. Welcome into a Friday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet, live here on this Friday morning. Make sure and hit that like button, share button, comment button if you don't mind. We appreciate you starting your weekend here with us. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful weekend. Heading down to New Orleans. Jay's got a little 7-on-7 tournament down at Tad Gormley and Pan American Stadium. Huge 7-on-7 tournament, over 100 teams.
Dang,
at the tournament.
that is huge.
115 teams.
Battle
Wow.
New Orleans. It gets
man.
big.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Also, St. Patrick's Day being celebrated down in New Orleans.
Is it really this weekend?
It is. They celebrate it the week before.
Oh, that's right. They do that,
in
don't
Baton Rouge.
they?
Yeah.
So their parade is tomorrow?
So their parade is tomorrow.
Are y'all
And,
going?
Well, I mean, we got our schedule, and we play. Our 3-game bracket tomorrow morning is at 8:30, 9, and 9:30. I mean, we'll be packed
Perfect.
up by 10.
Yeah.
So I think
you
so.
can catch the parade, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's fine.
Absolutely. I think we're going to make a weekend out of it and go down to
Yeah.
New Orleans. So enjoy this weekend. It looks like the weather's going to be awesome. I was on the
know.
bike this morning. That's why I was late this morning. I couldn't get off. I couldn't
Get off the bike.
I mean, it was a beautiful.
It is pretty.
I mean, it was a beautiful sunrise.
Let me
this
circle the
morning.
lake again.
Yeah.
One more. Remember, daily, we're brought to you by Go Chevrolet, online, GEAUX, Chevrolet.com. Find Go Chevrolet online. You can also check them out in LaPlace, Louisiana, if you're looking for trucks, brand new trucks. Got a great selection there that you can find. You can shop the entire inventory selection if you want to check them out online. They got 5 dealerships up in Tennessee and 1 over here in LaPlace that they can take care of you. Remember, online at Go Chevrolet, GEAUX, Chevrolet.com, and our phone line, Metropolitan Health Group. Busy day here coming up in the second hour as we're going to talk to Nathan Velasquez is going to be here, Jordan Faircloth, who is running for district judge again after a brutal beat in the earlier voting period. We'll talk to him coming up here at 8:45 this morning. Michael Wiggins is going to be here, and Michael Wiggins is putting on this golf event inside Tiger Stadium that's coming up next Thursday. And this is the athletic department released some details about this, where Tiger Stadium is going to include a 9-hole course that you can take part in. Coming up on Thursday, March 16th, the director of this, Michael Wiggins, is going to stop by at 8:15 this morning and give us a couple of tidbits on how we can get involved and how you can get some tickets and how you can take part in this.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious about
Have
this.
you seen like the layout of it? Like how they put the greens on the field? It's weird. I mean, it's a strange thing to see inside Tiger Stadium.
Wait, you've seen this already, Katie?
Yeah, there's a rendering of it. And you can see like exactly what it looks like. So all the greens are like on the field and
So wait.
like
This is not against simulators?
No, no, I don't think
Like
so.
there's like
I think there are
pins
actual
and holes and like.
Yes, I don't think they're digging holes. I think it's all like they lay the greens out there. That's what it looked like.
They're playing golf on the football field.
So is this
Yes.
like golf, or are we playing like mini golf? Because
I don't think it's like
it's only so much
golf.
space.
I mean, there's only so much
like
we
room
can do
on
here. I
that
mean,
field.
unless
I
we're like
know
teeing
it.
up off the sweet deck.
I know. I
Hey,
have so many
I would.
questions, and there's
No
like
doubt.
different experiences
Like-
Off
and
the
different tee
scoreboard.
times.
Through the goalpost.
Yeah, like what if you hit something, like break something? It just seems.
I mean, it would be a cool place to just unleash one.
Yeah.
You
for
know,
sure.
like, I
See
mean,
how far you can hit it.
Can't break a lot of stuff.
I know. I guess not.
It's gonna
Glass.
hit bleachers.
Yeah, I guess you could, but I mean,
could
that
break
glass has
glass.
got to be built for.
There's no
take a
That's true.
yeah.
Hurricane.
Take a
for as
bird.
much as
Wind.
people like. Hit
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be able to take some. That's some strong glass. If
Yeah.
a golf ball broke it,
Yeah,
that would not be
issue.
that would not be good
That would
for
be
that
good.
that company.
That wouldn't be
You know what I
good.
mean?
Talking
like-
about like the sweet glasses, like
Yeah.
the glass over the sweets.
It's
Oh
thick.
yeah, no, that's strong.
Yeah, that's what I was
like,
talking about.
Stick. I mean, it might break a bulb on the scoreboard.
Yeah. It's
Maybe.
interesting. I mean, it's a weird, but I think it's a tour. Like they're doing it in a lot of college stadiums. I read.
All right.
So I mean, that's a cool way to make some extra money in the off season. Huh?
Michael Wiggins is going to be here. Compliments of our friend Metropolitan Health Group, Real Doctors, Real Solutions. Shout out to our friends Charlie Harvey and Jason Ramazan over at Metropolitan Health Group as they bring our phone lines each and every day. LSU Baseball getting going with a 3-game set versus Samford this weekend. This will be the last of the non-conference here for the number one team in the country, and we'll see Big Paul Skeens again today as he takes the bump 3-0 with a .5 ERA. Struck out 36 in his 3 appearances. He has just been an absolute monster on Fridays. Ty Floyd will go on Sunday, and then LSU's left at TBA on Sunday. This is when Chase Shores has gotten the nod. I'll see what we'll see what Jay Johnson wants to do. But first pitch this afternoon, 6:30 today, and then tomorrow 6:30 first pitch again, and then 1 o'clock on Sunday.
They've never played Samford.
Really?
Right?
I don't know that.
Yeah, I think they've never played Samford ever.
I don't know.
They're 6-6 this season too.
Home of Mo Hampton,
Is it?
former LSU safety.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is he coming back?
Yeah, he's playing baseball though. Just baseball now.
Wow. That is incredible that Mo Hampton is playing baseball at Samford. I thought
Yeah, this
in
is the
week
first meeting.
7 of his freshman year that he was going to be an incredible safety.
Same
Like, I cannot believe that Mo Hampton is not playing football
at all.
or he's not in the bigs. I mean, like, the fact that he's on Samford's campus is crazy. If you would have told me that 4 years ago, I'd have lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money. I'd have had Mo Hampton some professional level right now, and I'm not trying to pour onto the kid. I just can't believe that that's where he is right now. I
Yeah.
mean,
Good.
I was-
Talent.
I was as excited for Mo Hampton as anybody. Like
Yeah.
that, like any recruit that was coming in here, I thought Mo Hampton was going to be just. I thought he was going to be like Spencer Ware,
Yep.
but a better baseball player. You know, like just like
Like a
a
top
stud
line
on the
baseball
football
player.
field. And,
So he played both.
He played, but he was a what they call they call it sandwich pick, like a sandwich round pick. There's like a in between. I don't understand the baseball draft a lot, but Mo Hampton turned down $2 million to come to
Really?
LSU.
Yeah.
Like he was a high round
Yeah.
draft pick out of high school. He was the best baseball and football player in the state of Tennessee his senior year.
Jeez.
I mean, like
Yeah.
the kid is a freak.
Obviously.
On the 2019 LSU football team, like maybe the best,
Yeah.
not maybe, the best football team ever put together at the college level. Mo Hampton, as a freshman, stepped in for Grant Delpit for the Arkansas game. Ole Miss, or is that's where Delpit got hurt, and they put him in the second half.
Arkansas, Texas A&M, SEC championship, and against
Well, no,
Oklahoma.
Delpit came back in the SEC title game.
Yeah, but he's still like
Yeah.
Mo Hampton was still playing.
But I mean, Mo Hampton stepped in, and you never lost a beat. And Delpit won the Thorpe Award that year. But Mo Hampton was a freshman. The Arkansas game, I want to say he was the defensive player or the freshman of the week in the SEC.
he was.
And he was special, man. And then in baseball, it just never.
I never clicked for
It
him.
never caught. Like it never. I thought he was going to be a better baseball player than he was a football player.
Why
Me
did he
too.
leave? Why did he leave and go to Samford?
I don't know, man.
Right?
It was a
Like,
lot.
somebody's
It
gotta
was
know
it
that.
was
That's
so it
strange.
was so weird how just overnight Mo Hampton was leaving LSU. You were like,
Well, wasn't he on the team in 2021? Was he on the team in
the football team?
Yeah, the football team. I think he was on the football team.
No, I
in
don't think he was. Dude.
It was 2020.
2020.
It was 2020, and then that season went kind of like he was starting one game, then the next game they put him on the bench, and the next game he started.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot of like in and
There
out.
was something with him and Maneri.
Yeah, and then
it was, and then the fact that because there was so much opportunity to play on the football field.
Yeah, I think he like pulled his hamstring or something,
Yeah, he
and
did
like
get
that
hurt.
kind of.
Yeah, they are saying in the chat it was Maneri, the reason that he left.
Yeah, no. I remember the stories of him and Maneri were like not.
They didn't jive.
They just didn't. It just wasn't working out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It just wasn't working
Yeah,
out.
wasn't Maneri's type of guy.
Just wasn't
Yeah.
working out.
Well, this will be the first meeting between LSU and Samford. Samford's in the Southern Conference, and Tigers are 13-0 against all the teams they've played in the Southern Conference. So this will be not a very interesting series, I guess, right? Since Samford is 6-6, and they dropped 11-6 at Alabama on Tuesday in their most recent game. So
Bama's undefeated.
Bama?
yeah,
Yeah,
what the
no, I
hell
saw
with
that.
them?
I saw that, man.
What the hell with them?
They've put their
That
resources to
damn
it.
Tad.
They put their resources to it, man.
They really have.
I mean, they're
Like we like athletics now.
I mean,
Football, basketball, baseball.
all of it, all of it.
Yeah,
Just
they're
take
committed.
it all.
all right. Stewie and I, Noah was out there. Went out to day one of LSU spring football practice, and it was good to be back out on the practice field. First thing that jumps out is construction, right? When you win, things happen. Buildings go up. And LSU, as we talked to Bo Lowry, is under construction there in one of their practice fields. If you've ever been out to the LSU football facility, right? I mean, it's state-of-the-art. It's first class. It is something that, you can use as a model really throughout college sports and professional sports. I mean, there's some people around Burrow and Chase that looked around the Bengals facility and say, look, this is nothing like we had back in college. But with LSU now at the practice field, if you've seen it, there's always been 4 practice fields kind of back to back one another. The practice field, if you were to kind of walk in from the front entrance on the back left, is now under construction. That is going up with a new medical facility that Bo Lowry explained when he was in here last week before he took off and went to Denver on what that's going to encapsulate, that's going to entail, what it's going to feature, things like stretching rooms and sleep chambers and really kind of a recovery type of facility that we're starting to see in a lot of, professional sports and high-level, brands of college sports like LSU football.
Can we get sleep chambers here in the studio?
I wish.
That would be nice.
Wouldn't it?
I would love to get,
Where's Jordy? He's in the sleep chamber.
yeah, for sure. I'd love to get a study of my sleep done.
Right.
Oh
See
my
what's
God,
up.
I can't even imagine what that's like.
Jeez.
Kelly could probably give us a study of your sleep.
He
You don't
doesn't
need
sleep.
to. You don't need to go to a professional.
Doesn't sleep. But, that's the first thing that jumps out. Construction, you're winning. You're, like LSU being, a part of, the discussion. It feels like now with Brian Kelly in the lead year in, year out as a contender, more facilities, more expansion, more things to recruit towards, more advantages to have as far as recruiting is concerned. Speaking of recruiting, when we walked out there, Colin Hurley was standing right next to a couple of the recruiting staffers walking around field to field, and that's the young quarterback out of Florida who is pledged to the class in a couple of cycles. He's already down here in Baton Rouge establishing relationship with coaches through recruiting. Not only that, the kid is huge.
He's so impressive too.
Very
to talk
impressive.
To, just the way he speaks and interviews.
Very impressive to
what you want out
to
your
speak with
quarterback.
him. But I mean, just the size, and I mean, he's still. It feels like he's only 16 years old. We'll have still a chance to even go through another growth spurt. But all of that, and then you get to the field, obviously, and look, they're missing some guys. As we kind of described the layout of the practice field. They were really only using 2 of the fields, right? I mean, the offense and defense were working on the field, but on the corner field that kind of sits in front of the one that was under construction featured a lot of the injured players that were going through just conditioning. They were just going through cardio and trying to keep in shape. And the first person that jumps out is Big Zero, Mason Smith. I mean, Smith is he's running his he's on that leg. I mean, he's definitely bouncing off that leg and looks like as if he's going to be well ready for fall camp. I mean, he was dressed out with shoulder pads, had helmet on, is just enormous.
Such a large guy.
I mean, like, dude, I mean, he like blocks the sun when he runs. I mean, like, he's enormous, man. I mean, you think about how good that defense was last year. And I mean, that you lost him so early it's wild to think. I mean, like, what he could have been to that. But you know, I mean, you know, coulda, shoulda, woulda. He looks like he's definitely going to be ready to play this year, and it sounds like he's got a hit list. I mean, it sounds like he's on a revenge tour, that he's looking forward to getting back onto the field, and that's the first thing. The other thing that jumps out right next to him is Deshaun Womack. I mean,
this freshman class is like, they all fit in.
they're huge.
Yeah, they are.
Like,
They are.
They don't look like
huge,
freshmen,
man. I mean, did you see Taviano? I mean, Javion Taviano with the DBs he looks day one ready to play.
Who's the other side? Ryan Yates.
Ryan Yates
Looks like he's day
Jordan
one.
Allen's put on some weight. He looks good. But those 2 guys, it was Deshaun Womack, Mason Smith running right next to each other. And then Armani Goodwin was out there with them as well, going through some conditioning. And, you know, I mean, it gives you an idea of the talent that's missing here in the spring. And it was concerning to hear, you know, Brian Kelly remark yesterday on John Emery, who's missing spring here due to some academic reasons, where, you know, you just hope at some point the light bulb goes off for Emery. But here's the deal with this year's team, is that they're not in the desperation spot that they were last season, right? Where, you know, I mean, you had to have bodies. You had to have guys. You had to go get Noah Cain from Penn State. You had to go get other guys that could come in here and carry the ball. Now, I mean, you've got 2 freshmen that are in. One's already in Trey Holly, who's out there working out with the team.
Forgot about him.
Presently, he's there. You know, I mean, as far as the stats go, I mean, you know, really someone who had an incredible storybook career out of North Louisiana in high school is now playing for LSU. He's down here. Obviously, Josh Williams, he's as close to being back as any of them are. Goodwin will be there in the fall. He'll miss the remainder of spring. And then, you know, Caleb Jackson will be here coming from Liberty in the fall as well. I mean, you know, now you've got numbers. I mean,
So you're saying he can be replaced?
Absolutely.
John Emery. That's
Absolutely.
such a shame.
I would think right now, you know, Emery is just he's just, if you have him, you have him.
Oh,
You know, it's
man.
probably how they're thinking of him.
I like him so much.
Yeah, he's a great
such
kid.
A great kid.
I mean, he's a great dude. But I mean, it still means that you got to take care of your business to get on the field.
You'll
Yeah.
miss his playmaker, like
Yeah,
from the running back position.
absolutely. You know, I mean, for sure. But I think that they think they can compensate that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think that that's something that they can still win without, is what they're
Yeah.
thinking.
Does he have a chance? Can he get back
sure.
in? Can he get himself
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Maybe
It's
we
on
need to
him.
bring him in and sit him down. And
It's
get
on
him
him.
talking
Maybe
to
you should talk to him.
I'm gonna talk to him.
But one thing that jumps out is that the running back spot could, you know, from a number standpoint, is going to, you know, to be in a better spot, right? And then, you know, obviously your eyes go to the quarterback, and you don't see much from the quarterbacks when you go in there for the 20-minute allotted period where they're just going through individual drills. And yesterday they were working alongside Joe Sloan, and, you know, Sloan had them going through a couple of footwork and delivery drills where, you know, I mean, obviously they all looked well throwing the ball. I'll tell you what, you know, I mean, Ricky Collins, that's the type of stuff that, you know, he does very well, is, you know, kind of work out in and just go through throwing drills. I mean, the ball still, it doesn't matter if he's in high school or college, it still jumps out of his hand. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see him, you know, just going through each and every day in watching Nussmeier and Daniels get prepared to play, because it's obvious that's what it is. And, you know, we talked a little bit about it yesterday of, you know, whether or not they were in a quarterback competition. And I was down in New Orleans and did Inside New Orleans with Eric Asher yesterday, and that was a lot of the discussion that they were focused on, you know, down there and talking about LSU as what they were going to do at the quarterback spot. And, you know, I mean, I think we've talked about it time and time again, but, you know, Daniels has done enough to, you know, be named the number one quarterback on this team going into it. But I think on the field, the competition began yesterday, you know, because I think there is, without question, there's competition. Brian Kelly said so earlier this week when speaking, you know, about his team to the Advocate. He laid out that, yeah, Jaden Daniels is the number one quarterback on this team, but Garrett Nussmeier has, you know, put himself in a position where he's deserved to get number one reps, to see if he can earn the spot. I mean, that in itself is announcing that there's a quarterback competition. You know, I mean, I don't know why people are so hard of not accepting or not realizing that, I mean, this spot is definitely up for grabs. I mean, Jaden Daniels played phenomenally in 2022 the way that LSU was constructed, but they're just a different team now. You know, another guy that I think has a real good opportunity here in spring and is not going to get a lot of attention, and is somebody that I think LSU behind the scenes is very much recruiting to keep on the roster, is Marlon Martinez. This offensive line that we've talked about so much over the last couple of, you know, weeks, months, year, of how they've really kind of restored themselves and rebuilt the entire line with, you know, high-end players and depth. Martinez played as good as anybody down the stretch, specifically in the bowl game last season, and really set himself up to possibly be in a competition with Charles Turner for the starting center spot. Turner now, of course, the guy who started the majority of the games last year, all of them pretty much, at that center spot, is going to miss spring, and Martinez has a great opportunity here to go through and see if he can't put himself into the mix of being in the discussion in the fall. If he's not, you know, he could be somebody that jumps into the transfer portal when it reopens after spring drills. I think LSU, you know, even Brian Kelly yesterday when he was speaking and asked directly about Martinez, the first thing he said is that we'd love him to stay. I mean, if he's saying that to the public behind closed doors, that means that he's got, you know, he's recruiting him and making sure that he understands, hey, LSU wants you. And that's what makes the offensive line group to me so appealing, is that they've got Will Campbell, they've got Emory Jones, they've got guys that have played a lot of football, but they've got some real industry type guys that can play in a multiple, you know, I mean, Martinez can play guard, he can play center. He had a really good bowl preparation and lead up. He had a really good bowl game. He's had a good miniature offseason here, and what they've been asking him to do from the weight room standpoint, I mean, it feels like is on the doorstep of being able to get on the field and, you know, really pushing Turner for that spot. So, you know, that's another name just to kind of watch out for, of somebody that's, you know, really kind of in a position battle and fighting for a roster spot that, you know, if it works out, he could be a difference maker in the depth category when you look at the offensive line. And, you know, if it doesn't, he could be somebody that jumps into the transfer portal here in a couple of weeks or a couple of months that, you know, has LSU looking for more help. But, you know, I mean, being out there yesterday, some of the freshmen definitely jumped out.
How about Ricky Collins?
Yeah, Ricky Collins. Yeah, I saw Ricky Collins. You know, like we said, I mean, just kind of naturally, the ball just jumps out of his hand, man. I mean, it's easy. Taviano, as we mentioned, The defensive back out of Texas, who at times was ranked as a 5-star, and I think ended up as a 4-star. He looks the part. I thought Denver Harris looked phenomenal out there. Just physically.
Corners.
What's that?
I didn't see the corners. I only saw the safeties.
Yeah, they were kind of in that back corner.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to see what Harris looked like physically, and he definitely, another one that looks the part. It's a group that's very impressive from a physical standpoint. You can't take a lot away from this period of watching them for 20 minutes, when they're spread all over 2 fields and you have limited access of where you can get to. Some of the workouts are being, are going on literally, like 200 yards away from you, a couple of football fields away from you. So it's tough to judge. But yesterday, we got a good look at, some of the defensive linemen were right in front of us. I expect that Savion Smith is going to have a just bust out season. He's another one that just physically should be the first off the bus. Quincy looked good. Quincy Wiggins looked good out there yesterday. The defensive line group is another one that's really that they're mashed up. They've got a couple of guys. They got a lot of guys that are missing out here on spring drills where they're going to look different once, we mentioned Mason Smith, we mentioned Deshaun Womack. Both those guys are going to look and make that group look a lot different once they become a part of the rotation and start working out and practicing with them. So, some of the just, quick takeaways when you get in there and see it for the first time, and try and snapshot everything you're seeing for your brain to be able to recap and bring back to life. Some of the new coaches were working out there. I like that Brian Kelly has kind of been open about that. It's going to be almost kind of a piecemeal of handling special teams, where you've got guys on staff that have certain skill sets and have worked in certain places and had certain jobs during their career where, you can bring that stuff back to life here, and it looked as if the emphasis in hiring a special teams coach for LSU was really more put on being able to coach that jack linebacker spot. That the linebacker spot that Matt House needed some, not assistance with, just somebody else out there to help him, coach it up. And it looks like, that's really kind of what the main assignment was in trying to find this special teams coach. Because yesterday, you can see, first off, Harold Perkins wearing number 4.
Number 4.
Perk 4.
Looks
People
a little
are weird
bigger.
about that.
Yeah, he looks bigger.
He looks a little bigger.
A year in the weight room would do that to you.
Yeah.
You're a solid meals.
Well, 1 year in a college program where you're eating, you're taking part of the nutrition, you're going through and, taking part in the weight room. All of that. At 18, 19 years old, your body is waiting on that stuff.
Yeah.
If you were able to feed that to your 19-year-old frame, it's going to explode, especially like somebody that's built like Perkins. He just makes everything look so easy.
He really does. It's amazing.
Like there was a drill yesterday where they were, kind of footwork through the bags, where you're popping through the bags, moving laterally, and then the ball is kind of, squirted out to the field, and, you have to kind of scoop it up, kind of playing downhill, and trying as a linebacker to get people's hands off of you, get off of that stuff and go scoop it up. And the way that he makes that's a very difficult drill to just, pick up and execute. Now, these guys have done it thousands of times where, they're doing it pretty routinely now, but still, there's a lot of skill and concentration that goes into, picking your legs up, getting through the bags, and being able to break out of there and scoop a football up that's bouncing around in an open field. There's nothing that I can tell you about Harold Perkins that, is going to to be anything new other than he's just the same old dude. I mean, he looks and makes it look very simple to play the game of football, and it's not supposed to be like that. You know, I mean, it's just not, it's not that easy of a game. And he's just very gifted and talented where, you know, he goes through the routine drills of playing the sport and practicing it. And, you know, I mean, he does it with his chin strap, you know, he does it with his chin strap kind of unbuckled, you know, I mean, his mouthpiece and his face mask. I mean, you know, I mean, it's just, and not that he's disrespecting the game, you know, I mean, it's just easy. It's just easy for him. And I would say that overwhelmingly for the practice, that it had that feel to it as well, that it was easy. And Brian Kelly said so much yesterday when he kind of wrapped it up at his press conference of, look, last year at this time, they were delaying spring drills. They were trying to fill out a roster. They were trying to teach people how to practice. They were teaching people, you know, emotion where people were still throwing their helmets on practice fields and throwing their hands up and screaming. You know, like Kelly was like saying, like, we had to go through a lot of, you know, like creating the standard, creating of this is how we operate. You know, I mean, there was a time period there where you're still like implementing stretch lines last year at this time on what you're going to look like when you even just take the field. You know, I mean, for Brian Kelly, it was brand new. For, you know, more than 60% of the roster, it was brand new. So there's one thing that's completely evident is that all of that stuff has been implemented. All of that stuff has been put into the program. All of the expectations are very well defined for the team to understand. You know, I mean, Michael Cobble, the sports director from WBRZ, we were standing around there yesterday for about 10, 15 minutes right before we were kind of called out to you know, get out of practice. And I don't know if Cobble was kidding or if he was serious because, I mean, he was like, has anybody seen Brian Kelly? You know what I mean? And not that Kelly's missing that. I think it just kind of goes to show on, like, everybody knows where they're supposed to be. You know, Kelly's doing whatever he is, you know, doing during that portion of practice. We just couldn't spot him where he was. But, I mean, it wasn't as if he's, you know, yelling, screaming, can be heard, can be seen. He's over here working. He's allowing everybody to do their job because the expectations have been clearly laid out from the top down on what's expected. And this is how the program moves. This is how the program rolls. This is what is the day-to-day operations of building a championship contender. And, you know, that jumps out. You know, I was talking to Brody Miller. I mean, it's much more calm out there. It's much more, you know, just people understanding what's supposed to be happening. You know, we mentioned some of the new faces. Omar Spates is another one that I think
Goodness.
Where's he
is
from?
Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Is it
Oregon State.
Oregon State.
Okay.
Yeah, but he looks like a tank.
Mm-hmm.
He's just
number one. Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't want to run into him.
he looks the part for
What's
sure.
he? What position
Linebacker.
is he?
Linebacker.
Okay.
Yeah, middle.
I thought Greg Penn looked pretty good yesterday.
Yeah.
I thought Greg Penn looked good yesterday. in
Seasoned
that spot.
vet.
Yeah.
Greg Penn.
I mean, he's played a lot of football.
I
Man.
mean, Edo liked him a lot.
Yeah.
Talked about him every week. The freshman Greg Penn. Gonna be a
He
great
did
player for
love
the
Greg
Tigers.
Penn. I think he's gonna. This is good. This should be his. I mean, this is it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's not a senior, but I mean, if you're good, this is when you're supposed to be good.
Yeah.
If you're Greg Penn, you know, I mean, so I think they're going to be okay at linebacker.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think they're going to be all right at
Looks
linebacker.
like they got some
They
depth.
just can't. Yeah, right.
Whit Weeks looks good. Not West.
Witt was out there.
Yeah. Number 40.
Yeah. Okay. Tough number.
Yeah. Tough number to take over.
That's
Why
a tough.
did, why did Perkins change to 4?
I guess because he
from
wanted
40?
Yeah. He wore 4 in high school.
Oh, okay.
So
Who had 4 last year then?
Todd Harris.
Okay.
Yeah.
to. Todd Harris. Wow.
Dr. Todd.
Wow. Todd Harris. 8 years he spent at LSU.
I know. We had the same career.
He played with Billy Cannon.
Right.
Remember, we're brought to you by Katie's Restaurant. Our friends down at Katie's Restaurant on Iberville Street, katie'sinmidcity.com. Stop in and see Scott Craig and the crew. As we were down in New Orleans, was bummed I couldn't get in and stop in and see him, but we're heading back today, so hopefully we can drop into Katie's at some point over the weekend and say hello. But if you're around, stop in and check out Katie's. Katie'sInMidCity.com. Katie'sInMidCity.com. Located on Iberville Street, their sister restaurant and sandwich shop, Francesca's by Katie's, is located down in Lakeview, so you can check them out. Everything online, Katie'sInMidCity.com. Katie'sInMidCity.com. We'll be right back with more of the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.
Hey Baton Rouge, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, whether you need to fill up your vehicle or your belly, stop by Go-Mart and On The Go Deli. Go-Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you might need on your trip. So stop by Go-Mart at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left, and visit Tom and Wright Granning and their awesome team at Go-Mart.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team.
Thanks. And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us. Get it done.
Are you looking for sound financial advice? Then get in touch with Daniel Newman of Edward Jones. You can call him today at 225-261-8262 or email him daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. If you're planning for retirement, saving for college for children or grandchildren, or just looking for sound investment opportunities, get in touch with Daniel today, 225-261-8262, located on Magnolia Square Drive in Central. Daniel Newman of Edward Jones.
Don't let the name fool you. Men's Total Health has offerings for the ladies, too. Guys, is your wife or partner suffering from urinary incontinence, low sexual desire, or pain during sex? Then the O-Shot might be for her. Don't let it scare you. It's totally natural. It's PRP. And Mike Roach and the crew at Men's Total Health will make you as comfortable as you can be. Contact me for more information, Katie at JordyCulottaShow.com, and I'm happy to tell you everything that Men's Total Health has to offer for the ladies.
Fourier Insurance Agency, established in 1946, locally can help you with any of your home, auto, commercial, contractors, life and health insurance today. Give them a call, 225-383-0682, or log online to FourierAgency.com. Back here in the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Remember, we're going to talk to Michael Wiggins. They're setting Tiger Stadium up as a golf course. We're going to ask Wiggins how they plan on doing this. They're doing it on March 16th. 9 holes. We'll tell you how you can get involved here. They got general admission tickets. They also have VIP tickets available. So we're going to talk to Wiggins about what the hell's going on here in Tiger Stadium.
What the hell is going on?
How are they going to do this? Big day for Odell Beckham Jr. I don't know if you've seen this, paying attention, but OBJ holding a workout today in Phoenix. Beckham, who is 30 years old, has missed all of the past season. He missed all of last year, of course, with the torn ACL that he suffered in the Super Bowl. He was on a free agent tour last year that included stops in Buffalo, back with the Giants, and then he visited the Dallas Cowboys, but nothing really came of it. This isn't a very strong class of free agent wide receivers. I think the top wide receiver in this class is Jacoby Myers from New England. Is the guy that's really supposed to set the market. So Odell, if he has a good workout today, he could possibly be back atop that list as potential free agents that are being shopped around here when the free agent period opens up in a couple of days for the NFL. So something to pay attention to here on this Friday is Odell's workout. It seems as if he's got to be healthy at this point after the time away from the game. One thing that we don't really talk about, or we haven't talked about, we don't talk about Odell a lot, but when he did catch on with the Rams, I mean, he was starting to really catch his stride. I mean, he had 27 catches, 5 touchdowns in just 8 games with LA. I mean, he was moving around and looking, not retro Odell, but someone that could definitely help an offense that was close. I mean, if somebody was looking for a really strong, second, an elite 3 in an offense, Odell is, possibly back on the market. And if he works out today and, checks all the boxes and looks as if he's healthy and ready to go, he's probably going to demand, a lot of suitors and a lot of money here in this free agent period. So be interesting to see what OBJ does today. Be paying attention and pulling for him. I love Odell.
I do too.
I love Odell, man. I know that there's some people out there that he's a polar. I love him. I think that he is. He's fantastic. He touched that piece of fame, that part of fame that even the famous people try to get to. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like he was famous for even famous people's standards. Like, I mean, at one point, I mean, he felt like he was like planet famous. Yeah. He was worldwide famous. And I mean, when, he was doing weird stuff, and I know that there was weird stories out there about, girls taking dumps on his chest and him doing.
Why? I didn't know Jordy was going to say it.
Why?
I mean, he got caught up in some pictures where it was weird with some pizza boxes and Instagram models.
Pizza box.
Things that happen.
But I mean, the guy was living with Drake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
like his off-season home was just
Drake's
hanging
house.
with Drake. I mean, Drake arguably was the most famous person on the planet.
Kind of still is.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, Odell was
just hanging out with Drake.
Yeah, he was kind of who wanted, Drake wanted to hang with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would too.
Drake literally, I think Drake told him to stay at his house.
Right.
Whenever he'd leave.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I believe the house that Odell lived in with Drake, it was the largest residential swimming pool in America.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, you can look it up. Drake is like he's a swimming pool like freak.
Really?
Like, all of his houses have to have pools. He's like
Does he like exercise in them?
I don't know what he does.
I hope so.
I'm
if
sure
you've got
he
that
does
big of a
lot
pool.
of stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure he does do a lot of
stuff.
things.
What do you call exercising?
That's true.
This is some cardio for you.
That's true.
And I think it was in the same neighborhood as like Kanye and Kim.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Man.
he's just living that life.
Right?
Exactly.
Hell?
You know what I mean? Like,
I
I
know.
mean, I'm staying at my friend's house. Yeah? Who's your partner?
Right.
Drake.
I know,
Yeah.
y'all.
Want to come to the pool party?
And now he's
Make Caesar's Palace jealous.
now he's best friends with Devin Booker.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, that's
Really?
he lives in Arizona. Like Odell lives in Arizona now.
Okay.
Well, that's where he trains.
Yeah.
So, and him and Devin Booker are like
Golly,
best friends.
Kardashians
Good for
everywhere.
them.
Yep.
Totally.
Can't shake the. I mean,
You
you
can't.
can't shake them, bro.
It's like 6 degrees of
I
Kardashian
mean,
everywhere.
They are the biggest cancer in sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
I mean, like they're just like they have infiltrated so many locker rooms.
Football, basketball, baseball.
I mean, that's why LeBron and the Cavs are like, "Yo, Tristan Thompson, we will deal you. We will trade you.
Keep them away.
We will. I'm telling you, don't push us on this, man. Don't test us on
Man,
this."
can you imagine being that girl? Ah, the worst.
Like, why is she sitting courtside tonight?
Yeah.
Tell her she has to go home.
Mm-hmm.
And she keeps winking at me, bro.
Like, I don't want her.
Like, tell her to chill, man. My wife is watching her. You know, this is like LeBron, like being like, dude, if you don't get these thoughts out of here, man.
Like, my wife is gonna kill me.
Like, we're chasing championships here, dude. Chasing
Yeah, it's
Instagram
weird.
followers.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pulling for Odell today, man. Big
Me
day
too.
for OBJ.
Me too.
Hopefully this is it, man. I look. There's Jerry Jones. If he looks competent that he can run and catch, I'd imagine that Jones is kind of going to be lined up for him. He wants that attention. I mean, if he can play, he can help. I mean, Stafford, like we said, I mean, down that Super Bowl run, Odell played 8 games. He had over 300 yards receiving and 8 touchdowns. Did I read that right?
Yeah.
I mean,
or is it 5 touchdowns?
5 touchdowns in 8 games. 5 touchdowns in 8 games.
I mean, Jerry Jones might pull his pants down if he runs good and catches the ball. He's so in love with Odell.
Oh, he loves what Odell brings.
Yeah.
I mean,
Put that star on his helmet.
that's a cowboy right there. We got to sign Odell.
You wear a cowboy hat, Odell? Dude, shoot for
would.
ESPN.
I was down in New Orleans yesterday. They asked me what I thought about Leonard Fournette being a fit as a Saint.
He fits.
I think if there's somebody there, I think Tom Brady was fantastic for Leonard in just kind of like, teaching him the ropes of professional football, kind of what's expected of him. It was a little alarming to see Fournette come in out of shape last season.
Yeah.
That would be the red flag for me if I'm looking at Leonard last year after it looked as if he was very motivated. He had kind of, it seemed like, gotten the message of what it takes to be a pro. He was still a little out of shape when he reported to camp last year, but he always kind of worked. He's kind of like Shaq.
Yeah.
Like
Works his
Shaq,
way back into shape.
people wanted to discredit Shaq. People wanted to break Shaq down. And look, there were some people internally like Kobe who could really get at Shaq and like hold him accountable. I mean, that seemed to be the rub between Kobe and Shaq when you really kind of got away from him. And they had that great interview in front of the championship trophies in L.A., and it's Shaq and Kobe, and they're kind of like sitting knee to knee. They're like looking at each other, and they're like talking to one another. And when it's all kind of broken down, like they're like almost a decade removed, more than a decade removed from it, they're like, what was the problem? What was it? Because like they both, you could tell, like really liked each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was like this, Kobe was just pissed off that like God created this, like God gave you this, man.
You're 7
and,
foot.
You don't want to keep yourself in shape. He's like, I mean, I put up 2,000 jumpers a day. He's like, I work from the time that the sun is down to the sun goes down. I mean, he didn't understand.
What?
Like, he's working
sense.
early in the morning, like when it's dark, and he's working all the way until it's late at night.
I was
You know?
like, sun's down.
But I mean, he just couldn't understand why Shaq wouldn't report to work in shape.
People, yeah.
I mean, he just was like, I can't. Why am I supposed to sacrifice the first 2 months of the season for this guy? I mean, I've gotten myself into shape. So I mean, I think that's kind of with Leonard. Leonard's kind of, and Shaq was like, bruh, chill out.
Yeah, be cool.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna eat my 20 wings.
I'll be in shape by Christmas.
Gonna eat my 20 wings real quick.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Drink a
just
Coke with
let
it.
me have my summer.
Like,
Damn.
trying to make an album right here,
but
Kobe.
like, Kobe's like, no, I'm not doing that. I think with Leonard, I mean, Leonard's kind of like the same way. Like, dude, chill. I'm gonna be in shape by the second week of camp.
Yeah.
I mean, once you put me in the heat, I'm out there running every day, and I mean, like,
It's easy for me.
We're going to be all right. But I don't, I mean, I think that he'd be a nice compliment to Kamara. If he's right.
Yeah.
He's right.
I think he'd be a better compliment than Mark Ingram. He doesn't fumble the ball.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah. I think that
Mark Ingram was past his prime.
It's
way.
Over. Yeah, it's over. It's over.
It's tough.
I mean, football hits you. When it's over, it hits you.
Yeah.
What's that?
Any more Tom Brady rumors you want to get going? You heard
No,
anything else
there's
recently?
no rumors. And again, Katie, like I told you, we don't have to play this game every day. I mean,
she wants to play it every day.
There's going to be a break in time here where there's not going to be a lot of news that's happening around this, and your side is going to get and gain some confidence. But
my side. What's my side?
The side that believes that he's not going to play, or if he does play, it's going to only be in Miami. Now, look, I do believe that Miami is a possibility. I'm just saying.
Was.
No, always has been.
Yeah,
always has been. The ownership of Miami has Michigan ties. They love Brady. They'll do anything for Brady. And Brady has, heard their pitch. And, it's probably still very intriguing and attractive to him. But they don't have the roster that San Francisco does, nor, as we pointed out, and it's easy to find, there's no quarterbacks in the NFC. In the NFL and college football and all of football, really, is a quarterback's game. The team with the best quarterback usually wins. And the best quarterback in the NFC right now is a young Jalen Hurts. And Hurts, while, bringing his team to the Super Bowl, it deserves a ton of respect and gets it. Outside of him in the NFC, I mean, name me one quarterback that could get in the way of Tom Brady with San Francisco's roster that could go to the Super Bowl. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is about to jump out of the NFC and go to the AFC. He's about to go to the Jets. Once he leaves, it really is. I mean, you're talking about like Jordan Love and Derek Carr. I mean, that's the competition. I mean, Desmond Ridder is Atlanta's quarterback?
Yeah.
Who's Carolina's quarterback?
I don't even know.
Sam Darnold?
I guess. Oh, they might draft a quarterback.
I mean,
think.
Tampa Bay's quarterback is Trask?
Kyle Trask. Said he could get the job done. Those are reports from the
Geno
draft.
Smith?
Yeah, it's Sam Darnold, right?
Kyler Murray?
Kyler Murray might not be
a
back.
40-year-old Matt Stafford?
Ugh. Frat.
I mean, I'm trying to name a quarterback that I would be scared of if my quarterback was Tom Brady with San Francisco's roster.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It makes good sense.
I mean, that's my argument.
But I mean, you can't keep using Tom Brady forever.
No, but I can if he's setting records.
I guess.
I mean, like, I'm not asking him to come out of the grave. I'm asking him to, like, yo, Tommy, I'd love to, if you play like you did last year, we might win the Super Bowl.
What a freak, right?
You know what that sounds like to Tom Brady? You know what that means to Tom Brady? That I could win would it be his 8th?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it would. He has 7.
8th?
At 46 is
46
when he would read it.
In his hometown with another team, just another one to, when he flips off Belichick in his Hall of Fame announcement, he's going to have all these rings. He's going to have like one from Tampa, one from San Francisco that he can say, everybody said I couldn't do it without you. Here's my 2. Where are yours? Meanwhile, you're hiring defensive coordinators to call plays.
I mean, his biggest competition in the NFC in terms of quarterback is
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts and Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, coach.
That's like the top 2
options. What do you
options.
really think Tom Brady internally thinks about Kirk
Oh,
Cousins?
God, I can't even imagine.
You know what I mean?
I'll put
what
Dak
are
up there.
What are the jokes Tom Brady's making about Kirk Cousins, like at the derby party in the suite, like where he just thinks it's just him and his boys? Like nobody's gonna tell anybody what I think, but Kirk Cousins.
He's like, that's the one person that can't play later than me.
Right.
Like.
Oh my gosh. Poor guy.
I don't know, man.
Poor Kirk.
Yeah.
Not really though.
No.
Gets
not
paid
really.
well to do it.
They're all fine.
H-Town Creole, come on, Jordy, get off the gas. Y'all are acting like the Saints are true contenders for signing Carr. Who is? I'm not. The only reason why I think that Carr it gives them a chance is because I'm looking around the NFC and I don't see anybody worth a damn.
Rico, that was a good one.
What do you say?
He said Fournette was working out with Booty last summer.
Is this the real Rico Delgado? Is he? I mean, like he's been gone for a long time.
We'll never know for sure.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, he got banned like a while back.
So who unbanned him?
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I don't know if it runs out or not.
No way.
I don't know.
He was on
Noah
suspension.
banned him, so I don't know if he set a time on it or.
Golly, I swore we never blocked anybody, but you're the only one.
I know.
He's so annoying.
And then he said something about Katie. He was about to get blocked again.
Oh, is that what it was?
No. No, yeah, he just said something earlier.
What did he say?
Get blocked again.
What did you say, Rico?
He said the last time he watched the show, you were 140. I'm
Oh
sorry.
God, that's what got him blocked. That's when Noah blocked him.
See, that's what I said. Don't
Rico,
get banned.
You're treading on thin ice.
He said, I want to apologize for that.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know me.
Somebody said Lloyd
unbanned him.
unbanned him.
Weight all day long. What did he say?
Lloyd unbanned him.
Who? LSU basketball season has come to an end. Last
God.
night they fall 77-68 to Vanderbilt. Jordan Wright, the Baton Rouge native, had 15 and 15 for the Commodores as he scored 15 and grabbed 15 rebounds. Vanderbilt will now take on Kentucky, who's the third seed in the quarterfinals. That'll be today. So LSU basketball season is over. Saw a lot of people out and about yesterday that were asking me about the Will Wade news that we were talking about yesterday.
I'm interested in that.
Nothing to report now, but as I said yesterday, we'll know quick. I think you'll know something this weekend.
But McNeese?
What about it?
Hey, we'll take that.
Is that the rumor?
Yeah, that's the rumor.
Okay.
Why? What's your issue?
I don't have an issue. I just kind of, I don't want to offend anybody. I just kind of
well, speak up. I mean, that's what we do on this platform.
Well, I
when
just
you
kind
speak,
of
you
hoped
offend
like
people.
bigger, better things for him, right?
Well, there's got to be a prove it period.
I guess. I mean, does there though for him? What does he have to prove?
No, it's fair. It is fair. But I think that until the sanctions or penalties or whatever the consequence
I get that
is announced, then there will not be a prove it period.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for someone to hire him in the state of, just kind of where he is right now, you've got to go give an explanation to the NCAA of why it makes sense.
Yeah.
And, when's the last time you talked about McNeese basketball?
Never.
Exactly. So the McNeese board of directors can make a pretty good pitch to the NCAA on why we want to hire Will Wade. And if you want to take a scholarship away from our basketball program, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like it's worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
it's well worth it for us to lose that scholarship to get to the attention that we're hoping that he brings.
Oh, he will.
Which it's no doubt. And he's also showing up with players.
Buddha.
Yeah.
He's showing up with players on day one, which is why he's appealing to schools like Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
And if and when the penalties are announced, and I expect them to be nothing, or if they are anything, very easy to overcome. That he will be in the discussion of a big time school very quick. I mean, we're seeing like Chris Beard is about to land in the SEC.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I think that.
What did Chris Beard do?
Well, apparently he beat his fiance, right?
Oh God.
Yeah.
So he hasn't been all the way cleared of that, right? So I would tread really carefully if I were. Are you sure?
Yeah. The charges have been.
But
dropped.
do you know 100% that he didn't do it, and there's
charges
no more
dropped,
smoke
though.
that's going to come out on it before Ole Miss hires him?
They can't do anything if the charges got dropped.
The police department in Austin have dropped the charges against Beard because,
But there's still so many rumors about it.
Well, no, I mean. There's always, there's rumors around a lot of people.
I know, but that's a bad one.
And, you can't hire against rumors. But there was. Look, something happened with Chris Beard and his fiance.
Obviously, yeah.
And once she realized what the damages could be if they were to go through with that, she realized that she was going to lose the golden egg.
Yeah.
They were going to lose the paycheck. They were going to lose the $5 million a year job that he was holding as Texas's head coach.
Are they still together?
I don't know that.
Was he the coach from Texas that was dating the stripper? With the monkey?
Special teams coach.
Oh, God. Texas just has all kinds of stuff
Yeah, they
going
really
on.
do.
He was dating the monkey?
Oh well, no, the
She had a
stripper
pet-
had
she
a monkey.
She had a pet
Yeah.
monkey.
Wait, what? He
No,
wasn't dating
he
a
wasn't
monkey.
dating the monkey. The
Yeah.
stripper had a pet
She had
monkey,
a pet
and
monkey.
like
That's right.
it just got weird.
Yeah, it got
really
real
weird.
weird.
It got real weird.
It got real weird.
He might have been dating the monkey.
But yeah, I mean, the Chris
Might have
Beard
been.
situation, pops up in Austin, and no charges are filed. Whether or not he loses in the court
Mm-hmm.
of public opinion, I don't know. I mean, we could debate that all day.
I just think you better be damn sure if you're Ole Miss that nothing's going to come back up with that. I mean, they already went through that with Freeze.
No, I think they went through something different with Freeze.
Well, it was different,
Katie,
but
that
same
was-
drama,
I mean,
but
shady ass stuff.
take this
but
phone.
Katie, I mean, look, in all reality, and look, do not allow me to be unsensitive to domestic abuse
I know that, Jordy.
or to domestic struggles by
Yeah.
any means. If Chris Beard was proven to do what it looked like he did that night, I mean, there were clearly marks on her from some type of physical confrontation. I mean, if the charges were carried through, he deserves whatever consequence comes his way.
Yeah.
By, I mean, I'm just going by the letter of the law.
Right.
And that's what Ole Miss is thinking about. And really and truly, that's what college sports has become. I mean, Hugh Freeze is back in the SEC.
I know.
And really Saban was trying to hire him 2 years after he got popped. I mean, it was as if, like, really kind of behind closed doors, they were like, all right, sweet. I mean, can we
Yeah.
hire him?
Yeah.
Can we hire him yet?
Yeah.
You know what I
they
mean?
don't really
Let's
care.
get him in here. Just like the Chris Beard situation. The day the charges were dropped, his name publicly became, open for business.
Yeah.
Right? That's why it's laughable that we're like talking about like Will Wade and Chris Beard
I know.
in the same vein.
I know.
You know what Wade wanted to do? You know what he's being accused of? He was trying to help somebody out in a
Exactly.
time in their life when they really need financial assistance.
Like every other coach was doing.
Absolutely. I mean, meanwhile, Chris Beard strangling his wife allegedly at 3:00 in the morning, wasted when he comes in after a loss. You know what I mean? Like it's two totally different. I mean, what are we even talking about? What are we even debating?
Well, if he gets that angry about losses, I mean, what's he going to do at Ole Miss?
Jesus.
Bruce Pearl.
Always sweating.
And look, when you got to qualify this stuff. Bruce
Yeah.
Pearl wasn't. Bruce Pearl got caught lying to the NCAA about having a barbecue at his house with recruits over because he thought he was going to lose his job because the NCAA was so scary at the time. And they were like, "Well, if you just would have told us the truth, we would have been lenient with you." You're like, "Yeah, right. You're right." If I had told you that I was having the barbecue and the recruits there, you'd have axed me on the spot. You know what I mean? Like that was their reputation. That's why, Pearl was like, I don't know anything about a barbecue. What do you mean?
Barbecue.
What barbecue?
Oh, God.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It was all burnt.
Well, so
And so they throw him out of the game for a couple of years. They're like, get out of here. You're like, for what? This is one of the most marketable coaches in the sport. You want to get this guy out of here right now? Like, who's running this business? Like, you want to for having a barbecue cookout at his house? You're going to throw one of the biggest personalities in the sport out of here? And then he lands back on his feet at Auburn at a football school where there's no pressure to win. There's no...
Well, so is this kind of punishment for Chris Beard then
Absolutely.
to go to Ole Miss? I mean, because they're not a
Absolutely.
basketball school.
I mean, if you talk to Chris Beard about the Texas job, he went to school there.
Well, why not Will Wade to Texas?
He was a manager there. I mean, if he's cleared, I think Wade's name would be in the discussion. Without
really?
question.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as Wade's cleared, whatever job is open,
Yeah.
his name is going to be attached to it.
Right.
I mean,
But, how long would he have to stay at McNeese? Say he takes that job. Like, is he tied down there for 2 years?
I mean,
Can he
if
do 1 year?
If he wins in the first year, he may not make it to the Sun Belt Conference tournament. I mean, this is when coaches are being hired.
Yeah.
Right now at this time. I mean, if he goes there for a season, if he gets cleared next week, there's a big time job out there that's going to offer.
Yeah.
him.
Maybe
There's
LSU.
No doubt about it.
Maybe LSU.
No way.
I wish so. I still have that dream in my head that
Yeah,
he's
I mean,
just
look,
building
man,
a team in the background.
it's good to think about, but it's
fun to
it's
think about.
unfair to Matt McMahon.
It is.
I
It
mean,
is.
it really is.
It is.
I mean,
Matt
the
McMahon's a
scenario
great
that
coach.
McMahon has been put in, I feel so bad for him.
But this doesn't
really.
have anything to do with him.
No, I
we
know it
just
does.
love
I know
Will
it
Wade
does.
and would
I
take
know
him
it
back
does.
over anybody that was here
I
coaching.
just
you
want
know?
to boot the up again.
Yeah.
I mean,
we just want to boot up, Jordy.
No, I feel you.
I just want to be new boot goofing, living good.
I know
Basketball
Red Stick
team's
Sports
good.
still has all those boot up shirts somewhere
Right.
back there in the warehouse.
Football
we need to get them
team's
back
good.
out.
Basketball team's good. Women's basketball is good.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball is good. Softball is good. You know.
Yeah, we just need to boot back up.
It's tough. It's tough right now.
You know, but I mean, a lot of people were kind of like, you know, like coming at me for my take on, you know, if Wade takes the job at McNeese, it's not going to affect Matt McMahon and LSU. And I'm like,
Yes, it is.
you know, like take your Wade sunglasses off for your boyfriend. I'm like,
Your
dude.
boyfriend.
Like some guy in New Orleans yesterday, I had him at lunch. He's like, I mean, your man crush on Wade is ridiculous. I'm like, nice to meet you, buddy.
How you doing?
How are you, man? He's like, I was just listening to your show this morning when I was jogging. I mean, you really think that McMahon is going to be affected if Wade is hired at McNeese? I'm like, hey, first off, explain. Now that we're going to do this, you know what I mean? Like, first off, explain to me how you don't think it's going to affect Matt McMahon, and then I'll tell you how I think it will. Yeah, well, the LSU job's so much bigger than McNeese. Okay, you're right. You're right. Okay. What about it? Does it not matter who's coaching those two programs? Well, I mean, what are you
Exactly.
saying, that Wade's a better coach than McMahon? No, man, I'm not saying that Wade is a better coach than Matt McMahon. Not at all. I'm saying that Wade's going to show up with this big personality. He's going to show up with players already coming with him. Like the day you announce Will Wade is the coach, the next day you're putting out 2 press releases that you just picked up 2 new studs
He's Jerry Maguire.
for your for your basketball pro. So the momentum and the wave that you're going to be riding with whoever hires him, and if it happens out of state, then this is a non-issue. This is off the table.
Right.
It's not even up for discussion. But if an in-state school, I mean, look, they're saying that Rod Hunter is up for the Georgia Tech job at Tulane. Tulane's been winning.
They have.
You know, Tulane's like accustomed to winning. They want to continue to win. They're also making a lot of money right now with their football program winning. They're getting the NIL people buying in. I mean, you know, for Pratt, for the quarterback, Michael Pratt, to come back last year, I mean, there were some guys that ponied up. I mean, there were some big schools that were calling him saying, all right, man, like, that was cute at Tulane. Now come do it in the SEC. He was like, no, I'm staying here. I mean, if the Tulane job opens up, it could be worse. You know,
Yeah,
being
that's
over in
true.
Lake Charles is one thing. Being in the middle of New Orleans with Tulane's brand right now is a whole different animal. I mean, I love McMahon. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's a great coach. It's just he got the job at a very tough time
He
in LSU
did.
basketball history.
It's not his
when
fault.
we look back at McMahon's, when he got it, what the hand he was dealt, and then if it's, you know, combined with Will Wade getting an in-state job, that's a tough hand, man. that's a tough hand to play. Whoever it is, it doesn't matter who it is.
As long as he doesn't go to Ole Miss, I'm okay with wherever he lands.
Deron Troughs, Jeff, unfortunately, Jordy refuses to talk about Wade's in-game coaching. Yeah, but we've already done that.
Yeah.
I mean, we did that within the season when he was struggling to get the ball in bounds, and we were saying, hey, man, he needs to hire an X and O guy. And hopefully if he gets the job wherever he does next, he's going to make that hire. His program was different when Greg Heyer was with him, you know, who just got ran off at New Mexico because they, you know, the hazing stuff. But I mean, that was his X and O guy. His program was different after that. So we have addressed the on the court stuff. It's not the time to do that right now. I'm talking about where right now it's about a popularity contest, and some people don't want to hear that, but that's what it is right now. And the most popular guy in the room is Will Wade. And if McNeese hires him, that's going to be an issue for Matt McMahon and LSU. It's just going to be something that they're going to have to recruit against. A lot of people are going to bring that up in the living room. A lot of people are going to bring that up in the media. A lot of people are going to bring that up where it's going to be just questions he's got to answer. When they go to the, you know, Louisiana Coaches Association meetings, they're all going to be in the same room together. When they go to the state championship games down in Lake Charles, they're all going to be in the same room together. I mean, all that stuff's going to be a little bit of a distraction more for McMahon than it is for Wade. Right? So that's all I'm pointing out. And it's not even done yet.
No, it's not.
Might head down to Lake Charles today.
But if it does get done, you'll know quick.
Mm-hmm.
We'll know
Hopefully
quick.
Will's there.
We'll know quick. All right, LSU is going to turn Tiger Stadium into a golf course. Michael Wiggins is in charge of this. Wiggins is going to stop by next year and tell us how they do this. There's also opportunities with you to be involved. There's tickets. There's putting challenges. There's chipping challenges. There's a long drive contest. They've got LSU themed prizes for winners. We're going to find out what the hell's going on here. Michael Wiggins next here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Remember, Daily, we're brought to you by RMB Builders. Rhett Bourgeois and the crew, rmb-builders.com is where you can find them, rmb-builders. You can find them on Instagram as well. Rhett Bourgeois, RMB Builders. Look, if you want a custom design home, if you want a brand new home, if you're looking for some reconstruction, or if you just need to rehab the house that you're in right now, get in touch with Rhett Bourgeois. He can take care of all of it. RMB Builders. Make sure and tell them that you heard it here on the Jordy Culotta Show, or that you caught them on their social media. Check out their social media. It's awesome. RMB Builders. We'll be back. Michael Wiggins, who is designing Tiger Stadium into a golf course, next here on the Jordy Culotta Show.
Like, here's the...
Donaldsonville Glass and Body, the trusted name in frame, body, and automotive paint repair since 1977. They have served their customers for over 45 years. You can find them online at dgbauto.com or stop in and see them Railroad Avenue and Division Street out in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Look, they can help you with your insurance claims. They can make the repair process as stress-free as possible. I'm speaking from experience here. I've got numerous windshields, body repair, all done by Kenny and the crew over at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. They are, without question, the most well-equipped shop in the area. Stop in and see them today. Shop them online, dgbauto.com, or stop in and see the crew over in Division Street in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Hey fellas, it's Jordy Culotta for my friends over at Men's Total Health. Guys, do you suffer from fatigue, decreased libido, erectile dysfunction, weight gain or loss of muscle mass, signs of depression, anxiety, hair loss, mental fog, general loss of interest? Then you might be suffering from low testosterone. Go see my friend Mike Roach and his great team over at Men's Total Health over in Metairie at menstotalhealth.net online. And stop in and see how they can change your life today. A simple shot and some knowledge from Mike Roach can get you back up, moving with your energy, get your sex drive back, build your muscle mass, make you feel young again. All online, menstotalhealth.net. Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
We're all from different places and backgrounds. We've each experienced our own versions of life, but in the end, we're all on the same team. I'm part of that team, along with these players in purple and gold.
Kayshawn Buddha, Malik Neighbors, Miles Frazier,
Kyron Lacy,
Greg Brooks.
Whether on the field or in the courtroom, your team matters.
So join our team.
make a difference.
Bet. Let's get it done.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
All right, welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. As we are live here on this Friday, make sure to hit that like button, share button, comment button, subscribe if you have not already done so. We appreciate you being a part of the conversation. All right, March 16th, something cool coming to South Louisiana here. They're going to turn Tiger Stadium into a golf course. The man in charge of this is Michael Wiggins, here to explain just what the hell is going on here, man. How the hell are you going to make 9 holes out of 100 yards? But there are tickets for sale here. There are opportunities for you to play golf within Tiger Stadium. We want some tickets. We want to be able to play. How do we do that, Michael? Good morning. How are you?
Thank you for having me on. You can have tickets by coming out to the media day and experience it on Wednesday. I know you know that, but okay, so we'll have you out there. But how we do it is that we've set up 9 distinct tees all around the stadium and allow you to hit target greens that we've had the grounds crew cut in and draw into the field. So it's sort of target golf. If you hit it on the field but not on the green for that particular hole, you give yourself a double bogey. If you hit it on the green, give yourself a par. If you hit it inside a concentric circle, it's which is 10 feet around the hole, that's a birdie, and then you can also hit it. Actually, we have flags and holes cut into the field, and that will give you a hole in one.
But
we're
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I was going to say it's 9 distinct holes, so you get a tour of the stadium. So you're going to be hitting off of the upper deck, off of the center deck. So you get to all the different views of Baton Rouge and all the different views that you get of the field from different parts of the stadium where you probably have never seen a game from.
Okay, this is super cool, Mike. So, all right, so no divots are being taken out of the actual playing surface, right? I mean, I'd imagine that there was some pretty heavy discussion when you're talking about cutting holes into the field, right?
Those are long and arduous discussions, yes. Yeah, but we promise not to beat it up too bad, and it'll be ready for spring football in a couple of weeks.
Nice. So this is a stadium tour. You've done these before, right?
Yeah, we've done these before, and this is our first one of the season this year. And we're going to be at LSU, and then actually the Saturday after that, I fly over to London because we're doing 8 events over in the UK this year as well.
Oh, wow, super cool. So how does it work? I'm buying golf balls, right? When I'm walking up, you're giving me golf balls to play a certain amount of holes.
Right. You have 9 holes. We're going to give you balls to play on every hole for you and your friends. You buy them in even numbers, the tickets. So you come with a partner or your wife or whoever you can drag out there to go with you. We supply. All you need to bring is your golf glove. We have the range. We have the yardage. It's adjusted for the elevation. We have the clubs, we have the balls. All you got to do is bring a good attitude and a golf glove, and we'll give you everything else. We have the holes are between about 90 to 150 yards, so we have 8s, 9s, pitching wedges and sand wedges out there. But then if you want to swing hard, we have simulators, and we have a long drive contest in our clubhouse. And we also have a closest to the pin contest on a simulator, as well as a putting challenge and a chipping challenge. So we've got a lot of things. It's not, you're not going to go out and walk 9 holes and hit a couple of balls on each hole and go home. There's a lot of things to make it worthwhile. Between a couple of the holes, we take you on the Tiger Walk into the stadium.
Okay.
So that will, so you'll go ahead and you'll be able to tour the locker room on your way over. You'll be able to take pictures down there with national championship trophies. So we turn it into more of an event and sort of a backstage tour, as well as just hitting some golf balls.
If you're not a golfer, can you buy a ticket for like less expensive and walk around with everybody and still do like a tour?
Sure, for $10 you can hang out with whoever you're there to watch, your family, your friends, and there's beer and wine, seltzers all along the route that you can pick up and something to eat, and then of course there's other food and drink in the clubhouse, which is on the club level of the stadium, so you get to also hang out in that section and see how cool and what they've done there in the renovations over the last couple of years.
Michael, was this your idea? Whose idea was this? This is cool.
It's not really my idea. I was brought out to San Diego to develop events for the president and CEO of the Padres at that point, and they had Callaway as a sponsor there. And so I said, this is kind of a cool way that we can utilize the stadium on downtime and give something back to one of the partners that they have, one of their marketing partners. And so I said, my thought was, I like college football better than pro football. I worked in the NFL for 15 years, so I think college football is a lot more exciting, and the fans are more into it, and they're more married to their stadium and their program. So we'll take it to the coolest college stadiums around, and that's why we're starting this year at LSU, because I was lucky enough to stand on the sidelines for a game at LSU one time, and it was the greatest atmosphere I've ever experienced in college football.
Wow. What game was it?
It was an LSU Mississippi State game, and I was it Mississippi State? I'm trying to remember. I was taken aback by all of it, but I managed a couple of BCS championship games at my stadium that I was at in the NFL, and Saturday night in Baton Rouge is better than a BCS game. Wow, a championship game. So.
Michael, best of luck.
Electric.
How can people learn about this before March 16th if they want to get involved?
If you want to buy tickets, if you want to just learn about it and think about coming out, go to stadiumgolftour.com, and it'll explain everything about the event. There's the FAQ page will tell you about it. We're there Thursday through Sunday, 7 a.m. until 9 o'clock at night. You can experience Saturday night and Death Valley in a completely different way next weekend, which will be cool. So you get night golf, which is a different experience from what a lot of people have already. Or you can just Google Stadium Golf Tour LSU, and it'll take you to the first thing you'll see is the LSU ticket page, and it'll pop up, and you can go over there and buy tickets.
Man, this is cool. Michael, thank you for taking this to our community. We're looking forward to seeing you out there for Media Day, and we'll be out there for Saturday night or Thursday night in Tiger Stadium.
Perfect. I appreciate the time, Jordy.
You got it. There he is. Michael Wiggins checking in with stadiumgolftour.com, coming to Tiger Stadium. That's going to be cool.
I know. That's really cool,
That's
actually.
Cool.
Now I think it's way cooler than I did before, now that he's explained it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right?
I didn't know you were hitting off a platform.
I know.
And stuff.
Go get some,
I know. I was picturing people
swings.
just down there on the field, like putting and doing things,
hitting divots and stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, this is not going to work.
And a simulation.
This is going to be bad.
But like being able to tour everything. And
I can't believe
you
you got away with cutting holes into the playing surface.
I mean, what do they spend? I wonder. Like, I wonder what this costs for them each stadium to do this. That's why the tickets are so expensive.
Hole,
I guess.
mean, like unless you're Garth Brooks.
I know, right?
Imagine
you know
being
what I mean?
the field.
Yeah.
The groundskeeper had LSU. Like,
I mean, he may be worth having on.
Yeah.
For this, like to find out, like
how much are we spending?
I mean, what's going on here, buddy? How much are you stressing this?
Yeah, oh my God.
He's stressing it sundown to sundown.
When you see somebody cut a hole into the playing surface of Tiger Stadium, I mean, that's like throwing paint onto a Nike. You know what I mean? Like that's like don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It is like
please
that.
stop.
All right, so that was cool. All right,
cool.
Nathan's coming up here. Nathan's going to talk about Cocaine Bear.
Oh God.
I can't watch that.
Has anybody seen it?
No, I don't want to.
Such
I
a
feel
weird-
bad for the bear. I feel sad about it.
But it's based on a true story.
Yes.
Is this really true? Like,
Yes, and he obviously died after because he got into the cocaine. I don't like any movies where the animal is like in distress or dies.
I'm out on the
kind of out
cocaine and
too.
the bear.
But I like all the like memes about it, and I
So,
love all the.
the story goes that this bear comes across cocaine.
Yeah.
And just like eats it
and gets into it. Yeah.
Right. Where does he find? Is it like?
I don't
it
remember. I think it was smuggled. It was packages. Yeah, that were
so
maybe
this would be
dropped.
Like essentially, like when you're in the ocean and you find like kilos of coke just
Something
floating
like
up.
that. Yeah. But
Somebody
I think the
found
movie is
cocaine
way
in the
more
middle
dramatic.
Sure. I mean,
Like
it's
the
Hollywood
bear
and
did
all.
not get into that much cocaine, and he didn't live that long and go around being crazy. Like I think it was a much shorter stint.
Okay.
But yeah.
Wow.
I
They
mean,
called the bear Pablo Escobar.
That's cute. I like that.
Cokie the bear.
Cokie the
Cokie
bear.
the
It was Cokie the bear or Pablo Escobar.
Did they have to put him down, or did he just die from an overdose?
I'd say he probably had some heart issues.
Fatally overdosed on cocaine.
No,
in
he
1985.
died?
Yeah, he
Yes,
died.
that's
It was
the
a
thing.
175-pound bear.
Okay, so I mean, he's not that big.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, like, that's me.
And
I know,
and it was
poor
dropped in
little guy.
the cocaine was dropped in the wilderness in Tennessee, and he just found it and ate it.
Man,
Tough
what else
find.
ate it though? You know, other things had to eat it too.
Tough
like
find.
other animals.
I mean,
so
just to sit there and buffet on cocaine in the middle of
Oh my
the woods.
God.
just
Can
a
you
bunch of coked out
imagine
wildlife, and
Can
they're
you
thinking about it. That
imagine
scene,
the
like
visuals
birds and like anybody
that
that got
Smokey
into
was
it.
having before he OD'd here? I mean,
No.
it'd be like finding like bear drugs as a human.
What are bear drugs?
I don't know. I mean, but there's got to be some type of leaf out there in the wild
Something,
that bears know about.
Like a catnip type
If you
deal.
lick that leaf, you will go.
You're gonna
on
run through a
you're
wall,
gonna go on a journey,
boy.
bro. It's gonna be crazy. Me
You're
and a
gonna see
couple
all
of the
your
bears had a
ancestors.
night the other night. Licked a bunch of that ukuleles.
Oh my god, that's exactly what
But I
it'd be like.
mean, wouldn't that be awesome? It's like
Yeah.
it's like the alien. It's the alien.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, like a bear, like he partied like a human.
Mm-hmm. He
You
did.
know, like he couldn't handle it. I mean, like that's what I'm saying. I'd like to party with the aliens. I don't
Yeah.
want to OD,
I know, you don't want to OD with an
but
alien.
that's why I need the alien with me. Like,
Mhm.
yo, bro, like, whoa, back
Yeah.
off. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, not so much.
Yeah.
Not so much. Not
This
so
isn't
much.
your earthling
Yeah, right. I remember my
drug.
first time.
Mm-hmm.
This is not going to work out well for you.
It only ate 3. It says the autopsy reported that it only ate 3 or 4 grams of cocaine.
Wow.
But how much? What is that
Some
like?
good shit.
Yeah, pure.
Like, is that like a weight?
Might have come from
or-
Pablo.
Yeah.
So there was more than that though on the ground. So
Yeah.
it didn't like want to keep going, obviously.
Probably like, oh God, I feel.
Hayden Paris, nothing gets you going like a bear tranquilizer.
Got Nathan.
Oh man.
You got Nate?
Yeah.
All right, Nate, let's bring him in here. Nate, explain this cocaine bear thing as far as the storyline goes. We're just going to jump right into it. It's this Friday morning with Nate here. Back with us from New York City as we got a lot to get to with Nathan. Cocaine Bear has taken the viewership by storm here. Nate, this is a true story, right? I mean, this bear scooped up drugs in the woods and OD'd, or no? Okay.
It's a true enough story. It's true that someone was drug smuggling. They were throwing cocaine out of planes, and then a bear ate some of it and then died like immediately. He didn't actually. The part where he then goes on a rampage and starts killing everybody around him. That part is a little fanciful. That part didn't actually happen. The movie, and I heard before there might be a little trepidation about, do you want to see, is it mean to the bear? Is it sad? Like, is the bear going to die? It doesn't have an Old Yeller type vibe. It's not humanizing the bear.
Okay, that's good.
It is a very, if you watch the trailer, it looks like a horror movie. This is so much more of a comedy, just a violent comedy, kind of like a Shaun of the Dead type of thing. It is absolutely hilarious. Going into it, I was expecting kind of like just a dumb, big budget, stupid movie about a bear that how much, there's no depth in that, and a bear eating cocaine and then killing everybody. I was shocked how funny it is. It is like a laugh. It is like every 5 minutes there is a gigantic laugh to a degree that if you go and see this in a theater, I saw it opening night last week. The crowd, that was one of the funnest experiences that I've had with a crowd. Everybody was shocked while laughing at the exact same time. Honestly, kind of the type of thing that you get from a Tarantino movie where something really, really messed up happens in a way that is incredibly hilarious. And the movie does that throughout the entire thing. There's a part in the middle where, maybe like 10 minutes, the story maybe drags a little bit. There's kind of a plot line that comes up that is, it's kind of like, okay, let's keep this going. But honestly, other than that, it's very, very funny. Ray Liotta gives the movie's dedicated to Ray Liotta. This is his last movie.
Hey, I was about to say, didn't he die?
Yeah, he did. He did die a few months back. Not from cocaine.
Right.
Damn.
Could
Surprisingly.
Right.
This is I know. That's the thing. In this movie, he kind of brings he brings kind of like the Goodfellas energy if he, stayed in it if that character stayed in it for like another 25 years. He does a very good job as kind of like the kingpin who's lost all of this cocaine, and he's decided like, well, it's kind of like Rat Race almost. All these characters are found in the woods. And so they're either trying to help people that they know that are in the woods, or they're trying to get out. So you're following all of these characters as they're trying to kind of maneuver their way around this thing. But then the goddamn bear just kind of shows up and then brutally and terrorizes someone in a hilarious way. And it's like, I should not be laughing at this. This isn't supposed to be funny. But that's the thing. They do a very good job. The dialogue is very funny. Just kind of the physical comedy of it too is very funny. Their jokes come out of nowhere that feel like that. Just bravo. I feel like I'm probably going to go see it again at some point.
Oh, wow.
It's like 85 minutes. It's a short movie. It's very worth it to see on the big screen. But again, it's probably going to be streaming on Peacock, I think, pretty soon. It's worth it. It's very worth it. And if you're scared about seeing something bad happen to the animals, the animals will be fine. The animals are going to be okay.
I mean, for God's sakes, it sounds like it. Raving reviews from Nathan Velasquez here. The 5 minutes.
It's very good. Did y'all hear about the story? It came out like last week that a wildcat was found in Cincinnati, and they tested for cocaine, and it tested positive for cocaine.
What is with the wildlife
Apparently,
drugs?
I don't know what's going on. The animals are. It's been a rough 3 years for all of us. I guess it's been rough for them too.
Cincinnati Wildcats.
If it's the Bears and the Wildcats that are doing the blow, who's the dealer?
Right? The aliens. The aliens are getting our wildlife
and
high.
the thing is, they found the reason that they test this veterinarian that they found the wildcat. The reason that they even do the test is that the year before they got a monkey that had broken into someone's house and took. They thought it either had taken, they said, Xanax or cocaine because it was acting very strange. They tested it, and it tested positive for having taken cocaine. So this is apparently a thing that happens regularly, that animals just take specifically cocaine.
Yeah, because a Xanax, he would have been down.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. That's why.
How
do you confuse? It's like you're either on Xanax or Coke. It's one of those. I can't tell.
It's not a confusion thing.
Nate, have you seen Chris Rock stand up yet?
I haven't.
Wow.
He's putting it out at the perfect time. The Oscars are this weekend. I have not seen it yet. I haven't gotten the time to sometimes I like stand-ups I think work if you're just kind of on a walk or something. You can just kind of listen. It's fun like that. I want to have the hour to sit.
Yeah, you
got
to
to
do it that
so I haven't
way.
had the time yet.
It's good.
I hear it's very funny though.
It's very funny.
I
laughed through the whole thing.
He definitely goes in on the Will Smith thing.
He goes hard in on it.
Obviously, that was the saving grace of this weekend last year that had everybody talking about the Oscars. Can they capitalize on that yet again, or is this thing going to be watchable? Are you going to watch it? What do you expect here Sunday night?
This is probably the least excited I've been for the Oscars, just because in the moment whenever that happened last year, it was very fun. Like, it was fun to talk about. We talked about it on the show, broke it down like the very next day. But it also kind of just signals like, what is this thing? Everyone like applauded him 30 minutes later, standing ovation 30 minutes later. It's a weird event. It feels like it doesn't quite know anymore exactly what it is. I'm still going to watch because, these things kind of come in waves. So it could be that we look back 10 years from now and the Oscars, get their footing, and this is kind of seen as the doldrums of the Oscars. As far as what happens, I think Everything Everywhere All at Once is probably going to win a lot of stuff. It just kind of feels like the vibe that the type of movie people are into right now. I think if they were trying to get people interested in the Oscars, Top Gun needs to be the thing that is given all the awards. I don't think that's going to happen. If people are going to watch, that's kind of the question. Is the thing that happened last year going to drive enough intrigue that people actually tune in this year? I don't know if they will, because I feel like the anticipation will be like, well, they're going to be clamping down on nothing like that's going to happen again. And the fact is now it's going to feel super lame if something like that happens again. I don't even think they're going to bring it up. That's probably are they even going to bring up what happened last year?
I wouldn't
doubt
think
they
so,
would
right?
do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like somebody would
so.
make a joke about it, right?
You talking about like the person that's the MC? Like, you think they'll make a joke
Jimmy
about it?
Kimmel is the host, though. Like, I don't think Jimmy Kimmel. Like, Jimmy Kimmel
not.
just did. It doesn't feel like they're going for the type of. I wish Ricky Gervais, whenever he did the Golden Globes, those were always the best ones.
I agree.
They were hilarious. It was worth watching when he did that. I just feel like that energy, no one's going to bring that energy to the room.
Chili, hashtag Ask Nate. Nate, what are your thoughts on Avatar, Way of the Water?
It's pretty much the exact same as the first movie. Literally, the character learns the exact same lesson that he learned in the first movie. From a technical perspective,
you're really selling it.
Wow.
So they just made the same movie twice.
Kind of, but
in the
like
water,
James
though.
Cameron is not. James Cameron started his career making Piranha 2. If you've seen those Piranha movies,
Oh
like
my
they're a lot of fun. There's nothing really
a lot of cocaine
going
in
on
those.
in them, but yeah, no cocaine in those. But there's a lot of other stuff that was going on in the 70s in those movies. They're not movies that necessarily feel like the stories are fantastic. Like Aliens, great story. Terminator 2, fantastic story. Titanic, also very good movie. But James Cameron has kind of taken more of this role of I'm gonna kind of usher in a new like technological wave of movie making, and hopefully people pick that up and then they do something awesome with it. The Avatar movies are great to see because that's clearly the way movies are going to go in some way, shape, or form, and it's fun to see that on a big screen. I'm not gonna like play Avatar 2 on like my TV. Like it's not. It's fine. I feel like if it wins Best Oscar, I feel like if he's gonna do these forever, then wait until he gets like much older and he's on like his 5th movie and maybe give it to him because his career is ending. It's fine. I feel like people have been it's been so long waiting for it that now that it's here and it's looks great, that people are like, oh, great job. But it's not 5 years from now. I don't know if we're gonna be talking about Avatar 2.
We were still talking about Lord of the Rings. What's going on with the latest?
Yeah, so Lord of the Rings Return of the King, this year it's 20th anniversary. So Warner Brothers is putting it back in theaters on April 13th. All four. I know. I'm starting to feel this with this stuff too. I remember being like, my uncle took me to see this movie in theaters. I thought it was the coolest thing, and now I saw 20th anniversary, and I was like, fantastic! It's back in theaters, but also,
I know.
Damn, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's weird,
Never
right?
seen it.
It's never seen it. Have y'all seen any of the Lord of the Rings movies?
I have not.
Yeah, I've seen all of them.
I have not.
So it's the type of movies, I feel like with Star Wars, you can't get into Star Wars unless you're really into that whole lore. You're into sci-fi. I am not big into fantasy. I like fantasy books, most fantasy shows, movies, not really into it. Lord of the Rings is the only like fantasy property that I think it's fantastic.
It is.
The
I
movies
agree.
surpass kind of that vibe of I'm not really into fantasy.
Y'all never even
Return
see
of the
it.
King
You
was the
can't
one
thumbs
though.
down it.
It's good. It's very good. Watch the shorter versions, especially. I mean, the extended versions. That's only if you like really love the original
Movie's like
theatrical
3 hours.
trilogy. It's a long. Yeah, it's long. It's an investment, but I mean, we spend how many hours watching shows that come out now? Like White Lotus, you got to give that like 10 hours.
Exactly.
I've never watched White Lotus.
Oh,
Damn,
Stewie, come on.
Okay.
Look, I'm still trying to finish Entourage.
All
All right.
Okay, well there you go. Entourage is how many hours? You could do.
Yeah,
Lord of the Rings would be one season of Entourage in terms of time.
there you go.
Return of the King was the best. Return of the King was absolutely the best one. That was back whenever the Oscars came around. It was nominated for 11 awards, won all of them, and that was a time whenever that stuff really mattered. It felt like movies were like at the center of like the cultural conversation. And that was kind of it feels like one of the last times that Hollywood kind of put something out, and it still lasts to this day. It's still seen as a gigantic achievement, and I think people will probably, even though it's the 4-hour version, will probably flood to go and see the Return of the King in theaters because it is that good. It really is that good.
Springtime in New York City, Nate. It's beautiful right now. What's going on?
It's still a little chilly up here. It's still a little chilly up here. We got St. Patrick's Day coming around, so getting ready for that. Some people are actually coming into town for that, so hopefully we won't remember the weekend. It should be a fun time.
Is that this weekend? Y'all are celebrating this weekend?
Next weekend.
Okay, next weekend.
And hopefully it's a little warmer by then. It's still a little too cold here.
All right, buddy. Enjoy the weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Nate, have you seen Creed?
No, the thing is I didn't see Creed 2, so I've got to watch Creed 2. Probably going to do that next week, and then go and see Creed 3 like maybe end of next week. It looks really good though. I hear it's bringing in bank, like it's doing really well.
Yeah, it is. Nate, real quick listener question before you get out of here. Brandon Hollingsworth wants to know: ask Nate about HBO's show The Last of Us. Have you seen it, and would you recommend it?
First half of the show, I think the whole thing's 8 episodes. Last episode comes out this weekend. And half of a good show. I would say half of a good show. It feels like it feels a little bit too much like a video game. A few of the quests, like each episode feels like a quest, and a few of them are good. A few of them, I'd take it or leave it. So far, it started out strong, but ending, it's feeling kind of like maybe 6 out of 10 for me, at least.
5-Minute Critic every Friday on YouTube, every day on YouTube, every Friday right here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Have a good weekend, Nate. We'll see you, buddy.
Y'all too.
Bye, Nate.
All right, man.
I can't do The Last of Us. Have you tried it?
I'm not.
I mean, I've tried it.
I've never even heard of it.
It's very. I mean,
It's
everywhere.
It's like
though.
it's from a video game. It was
Yeah.
a game. Now it's a TV show. It's on HBO.
It's intense, and they're like a kid died like in the first one, and David had to like finish it without me. I'm like, I'm not in a season of my life that I want to watch this
reality.
Kind of stuff.
It's like it's like an
intense,
apocalypse
though.
type deal.
I'm
And the
out.
guy like
I'm out.
he goes to get this girl.
Yeah.
Sci-fi doesn't pull me
It doesn't.
at all.
Yeah,
At all.
All the way.
At all. Like, I'm out early on sci-fi.
I like sci-fi. I just don't want.
Not this
like
type.
this is so much drama. Like it's intense. It's very intense.
Wait,
There's a
you
lot
mean,
of
like,
death.
The Walking Dead, out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was out early on that.
Early.
Like watched the first couple episodes, and I was like, "This is too much."
I
Like,
think
And
if
it's
you're
dumb.
into aliens, you would be into zombies, though.
It's kind of like it's a little bit of a 2.0.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to roll with the elite. Unless we're not, unless this is an extraterrestrial, I'm out. You know what I mean? Is this a real alien or is this some like Walking Dead? You
Right.
either go back to your grave, man. I'm done with you, man.
But don't you think it's more realistic, like Walking Dead type stuff, than Alien type stuff?
aliens.
I
more
mean,
realistic.
aliens exist. I've
Yeah.
not seen people walking around dead.
Zombies. No.
Not yet.
You know what I mean? That's fine. Y'all
Kitty, I
can
don't-
y'all can keep up with your theories. I know my theories have been busted, a lot lately.
Yeah.
I mean, there's UFOs flying over the Great Lakes. There's alien sightings and
Drones.
all over the place.
Balloons.
Drones and balloons.
They had a UFO crash in Clinton, Louisiana a couple
Drone
of years
crash.
ago.
Oh, well, yeah, I did hear
Yes,
about that.
absolutely.
What,
Stewie.
is that like really true?
Yeah, absolutely.
We talked about it on the show. It was a big conspiracy we had going.
But like, didn't they clean it up? And, like,
People try to debunk it, but I've still not seen any official reports. It sounds like there's a lot of conspiracists that are out there that are either working on the inside.
Little inside job.
Yeah.
There are drones flying around everywhere.
There are.
That's all that is to me.
Drones?
Until I see an actual alien walk by me.
Like you talking about like military drones?
Any kind of drones, yeah. There are drones everywhere. I mean,
Let
Jack
the
was
record
flying
show,
one over my
aliens,
house the other day.
I was not the one talking shit.
He's so scared
was
that
not
they're
the
going to come
one.
for us
Are you
because I'm
talking
not
about those-
I
believing
was
them.
not the one, aliens. It wasn't me, man. I've
talking
always
about
had
the
y'all's
small
back,
drones,
bro. I've
Katie?
always had
No,
y'all's
there's
back.
huge drones out there
Yeah,
that people
I know,
fly
like the
around.
ones
yeah.
that look like
Jake, can you go
planes.
let Jordan
Yeah.
in, please?
Yeah.
Are you
So,
talking
I mean,
about those? Or are you talking about like
any
the
drone,
little ones that you
any
can
drones.
just?
I just think when people see an unidentified flying object, it's most likely a drone.
Usually
Sorry.
won't see a
Most likely
real
a drone.
drone though. Like the ones that are like
Most
the military
likely a
ones. You
drone.
don't
This
see 'em.
drone that you're claiming was a drone was kicking up spray from Lake Erie.
They have really big drones in the
No,
military.
no.
Yes,
do,
they
but
do.
they-
They
I
do.
don't know if
No, they do not. We'll ask one of our next elected officials.
I'm sure he wants to
about
talk about
this.
that. Let's
That's
get
right.
him involved in conspiracy theories.
Welcome to the conversation, Jordan Faircloth. All right, a brutal loss for our guy last time out. And when I've never heard of a political loss like that. I mean, I know
He's right
we're
there.
ancient athletes together. We've been a part of brutal
Okay.
losses together.
All
that
right.
being the worst.
Lost a lot of basketball
But
games.
he's
with this
signing
guy.
back up. He's signing back up. He's doing it again.
He's doing it again.
We're going to talk to
He'll
our
do
friend.
it this time.
We're going to talk to our friend, former LSU baseball player, current ancient athlete, basketball champion. Did I see that right? Not yet. What, you're a champion of something? I saw a picture come out. Reigning champion of something. Flag football?
Yeah, we'll go.
All right, why not? Okay, that's what I thought. Softball. Jordan Faircloth stopping by next here on the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.
Hey, Baton Rouge, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, whether you need to fill up your vehicle or your belly, stop by Go-Mart and On The Go Deli. Go-Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you might need on your trip. So stop by Go-Mart at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left, and visit Tom and Wright Granning and their awesome team at Go-Mart.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team.
Thanks. And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us. Get it done.
Are you looking for sound financial advice? Then get in touch with Daniel Newman of Edward Jones. You can call him today at 225-261-8262 or email him daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. If you're planning for retirement, saving for college for children or grandchildren, or just looking for sound investment opportunities, get in touch with Daniel today, 225-261-8262, located on Magnolia Square Drive in Central. Daniel Newman of Edward Jones.
Don't let the name fool you. Men's Total Health has offerings for the ladies, too. Guys, is your wife or partner suffering from urinary incontinence, low sexual desire, or pain during sex? Then the O shot might be for her. Don't let it scare you. It's totally natural. It's PRP. And Mike Roach and the crew at Men's Total Health will make you as comfortable as you can be. Contact me for more information, Katie at JordyCulottaShow.com, and I'm happy to tell you everything that Men's Total Health has to offer for the ladies.
Fourier Insurance Agency, established in 1946, locally can help you with any of your home, auto, commercial, contractors, life and health insurance today. Give them a call, 225-383-0682, or log online to FourierAgency.com. All right, welcome back here. Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet, live on this Friday as we get set for another weekend at the box. The last non-conference at the box is Sanford is in town. First time these two teams have squared off ever.
Ever.
According to our statistician here on staff, our historian.
Ever.
Katie. But we welcome back to the set here Jordan Faircloth, a dear friend, a ancient athlete representative as well for us in here in Baton Rouge, a part of the Brass Society.
He takes more pride in the ancient athlete thing
absolutely.
than anything.
Absolutely.
Current president of the ancient athletes.
Oh,
Get the
nice.
hell out of here.
Don't know how they let me get that spot, but you know.
Damn, things are a-changing, dude. But this coming up, March 25th, will be Election Day, and our guy is on the docket again. He's on the ballot again for district court judge. And I said this, and I know Katie was looking at me like, geez, bro, leave him alone about the loss. But I mean, we have had much more brutal ones in ancient athletes, Stewie. But when I saw that, Jordan, and Jordan Faircloth, welcome back to the set, buddy. Good to see you.
Absolutely.
Dude, I thought that was fake. I really did. I thought that I was like, there's no way this is real.
Well, you and me both.
Yeah, right.
And I'm happy to share the story as I've done several times. You know, the runoff was the same day as Garth Brooks and Tiger Stadium. So there's 120 some odd thousand people there. And
Did that feel like the biggest game of your life that day? Like
oh,
waking
yeah.
up, were you like, this is game day?
This is game day. And I knew I was going to battle against the people hyped up to go see Garth Brooks, which I get. I mean, that's in terms of scale. Garth Brooks and Tiger Stadium, a local election. I get it. I understand. But, you know.
It's election day.
Who's ready to vote?
Let's roll.
Oh, wait. Never mind. But my wife and I, we went with my brother-in-law and my sister, Donnie Jones. So we went and we said, you know what? By the time the concert starts, you know, the hay is going to be in the barn. It is what it is, for lack of a better way to put it. So we're trying to enjoy the concert, you know, doing the thing. And it got to a point I'm following it on my phone. I was like, look, I can't enjoy this. I got to go sit by the concession stand and just see how this plays out. And with 2 precincts left, I was up 36 votes with 2 left. And those last 2 precincts hit at the same time.
Oh, my God.
And I saw that I was down and lost by 2. And I looked around.
2.
Am I seeing this right?
Yeah,
Did that just happen?
Stop somebody. Dude, is this right?
Is this right? I started getting texts, you know, some expletives. Holy, what? Is this accurate? I'm like, I guess it is. But needless to say, we left the concert at that time and headed on back to the house. And, you know, like anything, it's a Hail Mary pass at the buzzer, a full court shot, you know, walk-off grand slam, all the sports euphemisms you could come up with. I live that in terms of the political process. But like anything else, to use another sports analogy, you know, you gotta get back in the game. You gotta get back on the horse at some point. And I figured that there would be another opportunity to run. Just didn't know when it would be. You just never know how these things play out. But Judge Tim Kelly retired at the end of last year.
Wow.
So it opened up another seat in the same court in the exact same voting district with another spring election. And I was like, wow.
That's meant to be.
We got to go. So I mean,
good for you, bro.
Certainly had to think and pray about it, and the wife had to be on board because I learned last year if the significant other isn't on board, it ain't going to work out.
So it's March 25th is the voting day.
March,
so I Googled what you're up against in Baton Rouge on that day.
LSU Arkansas at 1 p.m.
You're up against 3 Dog Night at LaBerge and the Gonzalez Gun Show.
So well, I'm good with the Gonzalez Gun Show. 3 Dog Night, you know, some of the old heads, they might vote early, so we might be all right.
I think you're good.
If anybody would have gotten back up on the horse in something that had to be so brutal, I mean, it does not surprise me that you were signing back up for this. It also doesn't surprise me that you're the president of our society at Brass. I mean, that's just kind of who you are. What about this process did you learn last year that you maybe take into the second go round?
It's like anything, you learn how to be a little more efficient and effective. The first time you do anything, you got to try to do all the things, and then you realize that maybe I could focus on this instead of that. So that being one, B, confirming how important what is called the grassroots retail politics. Go see people, speak to groups, go knock on doors, those type of things. That's how you get folks to want to go vote and to want to go vote for you. You know, if somebody comes and knocks on your door and says, hey, look, I'm running for this office. Let me tell you about myself. I'd appreciate your vote, your support. This is the election day. It's hard for you to say, man, that guy came to my house and talked to me.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna go vote for you.
Right.
So those things were confirmed. You don't know what you don't know. The worst thing that happened last year is that I lost. I met so many people from all spectrums of business community to retired folks, and irrespective of the result, the process was well worth it. The education I received and the experience was second to none.
Yeah.
So, that happened. I'm just as emboldened as I was last year to run. I still stand on the same things I ran for last year. As having a strong judiciary is important, especially in a city like Baton Rouge, a parish like East Baton Rouge Parish, with all the stuff we have going on. So a strong judiciary helps, and I think I've proven my makeup, my mindset, my work ethic, my ability to do the hard things, as they say.
Sure.
To not be afraid of the challenges, and I'm ready and I'm prepared to do what is needed to serve in that role. And I say serve because it is a position where you serve the public. You serve not only the lawyers that come before you in court, but the parties that come before you and the citizens at large. Because if you don't have confidence in your local elected officials, like your judges, then it's not a good sign for anybody.
Amen.
So
Amen.
that, without getting too much into the weeds of politics, that is kind of what I'm going on is, look, I'm ready and let's go.
All over social media, people want to find out about you.
Yeah.
How do they do that?
I try to make it easy. I tell folks I'm never the smartest person in the room, but I try to be the most competitive person in the room. And the website, jordanfaircloth.com, make it easy. It has all the facts, details, a couple of things. The zip codes, it's 8 zip codes. It's the voting district. It's the southern part of the parish. So it's 70806, 70808, 70809, 70810, 16, 17, 20, and 70836. So the seat handles matters covering the entire parish, but the voting district is just the southern part of the parish. And a little nerd data from last year, there's 133,800 and some odd registered voters in there. 10% showed up for the primary, 9% showed up for the runoff. I am the walking, talking embodiment of a civics lesson that every vote counts. If somebody says, "Oh, my vote doesn't matter," give me a call. I'll tell them it does.
Faircloth in Baton Rouge. That's
it
right.
does. So
that's right.
That's the data, and every day I it's a joke, but kind of not a joke. I wake up saying, if I can find 2 votes today, if I can find 2 votes tomorrow, 2 votes the next day, and we'll see where it shakes out at the end.
JordanFaircloth.com. March 25th is Election Day. Early voting opens up tomorrow. So get out there and vote. That is discouraging numbers to hear that 10 and 9% are voting on elected official seats. That means so much. As Jordan said, we can sit here and moan and complain and bitch about everything that's going on, but here's our opportunity to make our voice heard by getting out and voting. Tomorrow we can do that from an early voting standpoint, and then, of course, on March 25th is Election Day. Go get them, bro. Proud of you. Thank you.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all have been a huge help and supporter. So.
Always. JordanFaircloth.com. Remember, check him out there. Good show today. Good shows this week. We appreciate you being involved. Hit that like button, share button, comment button. Remember, Mikey and the crew, Jay Mitch, Mikey Matuk, get you set up for another non-conference baseball weekend here at the Box. First pitch, 6:30 tonight at Alec Box Stadium. Go out and check him out as always. We'll be back with you on Monday morning. JordanFaircloth.com. Have a great weekend, and go Chevrolet, driving us every day.